Oh yeah, I think we good. Friday night flights. Hopefully this time it won't crash in the middle of the flight. But I think I might have found a way to save the game. That's right. We'll see what happens. Welcome all my fine aviation enthusiast friends. This is your internet pilot, Greg, saying welcome to the airplane show. We're gonna see if we can actually make it through a flight tonight, because it's been a minute since we've done a whole flight, because this bitch keeps on crashing. It's not me crashing. I'm not choosing to crash this bit. It is Microsoft and Xbox. They're out to get me. They must not like middle-aged men playing video games at night. I think they're out to get me. So let me show you. So there was three different planes. Well, 3 different liveries we could choose from. I think I'm gonna do Spirit Airlines because I've never put one of those on screen before, and I see them flying over my house all the time here in Maryland. So this plane hasn't taken off yet, but we're gonna fly this anyway. So we got right here. That's right. Sorry about that. My daughter walked in the room. She's like, "Dad, you so old you shouldn't be streaming." Do you want something else, or is that okay?
That's good.
All right, you can come back and get more later if you want. Love you too. All right, so this plane hasn't taken off yet, but this is the one we're gonna fly. Spirit Airline 3034 from Los Angeles to Salt Lake City. Now here's the routes. I built it in SimBrief as normal. I tried to do this A flight last night, but right when I was getting ready to do it, SimBrief decided to do an update. Almost like what's happening now on this screen that you can see right now. Like he's just taking his time. There we go. All right. Did it save my notes? Did it save the notes? It never saves the dang notes. Let me put the notes in again. Gate 56A and B22. I don't know why it I guess it doesn't like me putting in extra notes here. Alright, so here's the route that it flew from Los Angeles. It took off, well, it's supposed to be taken off from 24 left. As you can see, it's in green, so that's a departure runway that we can use tonight. It did the Orca 5 departure, did the LAS transition, which is Las Vegas. And then we're going to pick up this here highway in the sky, the Q70 highway, and we're going to take that all the way to Blip, and then pick up another highway to Winning, since been winning. Then we're going to pick up MILF. I don't know what that stands for. What is that? Not Medford, that's in Oregon. What is MLF? Let's see if we click on it. Oh, it is Milford. I was right. Okay. Well, it's not Milford, Oregon. But anyway, and then we're going to do this here, Quen 5 landing. And we do have to do a little manipulating with the flight plan tonight, because as you can see, like if we were landing on 35 right, then we could take Plague and then take this on down. But since we're doing 34 left, we have to get rid of these 2 waypoints. So we'll do that. Alright, let's so anyways, this all this here I'm gonna have up on my iPad, so that we're gonna say goodbye to this. Say bye bye. And we're gonna get our livery set up. Let's bring this here. Nope. Yep. Alright, there we go. Alright. We good. Alright, let's see here. We gonna click on this, and let's see here. Alright, let's go ahead and set this up. And I just found out something else tonight with let's see if we can set the livery from what I've got 157 hours with this bacon strips. profile, right? I had no idea. I can go to the hangar and like change the livery. So let's see if I put Spirit Airlines in here, if that'll actually change it for the simulator. Let's just look for a yellow plane. I know it's here. I seen it before. Here we go, Spirit. There we go. Home of the Bear Fair. And it's got specifications. You can read all about it. So, alright, let's see here. Let's see if it kept it. Sure enough, did. Alright, let's go to KLAX. Looks like it's dark already. I was hoping not to do a dark flight, but it is what it is. And we're doing 56A, which is down here somewhere. $55, $57, $55, $56. Alright, 56 is right here, so let's just do that. So it looks like we're going to have to spin around and go up and over because we're doing this runway here, I believe. 24 left. Yep. Alright, let's get into this. I'd like to, you know, maybe one day I won't do live weather. That way I can do a flight in the daytime somewhere in America. By the time I get off of work and get dinner together for my family and all that, and like finish the day, it's already like dark everywhere, especially this time of year. It's going to be worse in a couple of months when it gets dark at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh yeah. Home of the Bear Fair. Well, you know, I could do that flight from Australia. That Jetstar flight I was going to do yesterday. Why don't we do that instead? Here, we can actually build it together. Let's do that. Because I really don't want to do another night. Like, you can't see the plane at nighttime. In, what the hell am I talking about? You can't see, like, when you go to the outside view, you can't see anything. So, alright, let me bring up Chrome. Let me go to SimBrief. And then that was a Jetstar flight. That was actually pretty cool. Oh yeah, shit. I forgot to send my daughter this code. Damn it. Alright, I can do two things at once. I think I can do two things at one time. Alright, let me, alright, let's squeeze that over yonder. Let's bring up the aviation folder. Let's go to SimBrief. Amazon order. I ordered her a gift card for Xbox. It's easier to get her money on the Xbox than logging in and giving her my actual payment info. So let me just bring up this code that I gave her while SimBrief is trying to open on my computer. Nope, I don't need that. I need... Alright, dispatch, saved flights, order number, okay. We got this one. This is the flight right here. Let's edit it for today. Alright, gift card code. Let's copy that. And let's send that to her. Alright, use current time. Alright, and generate flight. Alright, and let me copy and paste that to her. Alright, now let's go to Navigraph. I don't really care what gate for this flight. I'm not going in to look it up in flight aware this time. We can just, it doesn't really matter. We just make it up. Alright, but I do remember that this one we have to do like a big U-turn to get to the right landing. I remember seeing this when I was building it initially, that it does like a big U-turn. It hits the VOR here, and it just does a U-turn and picks up the ILS. So all right, so we're doing ILS 32 left. Alright, so now that is saved. So now I can bring that up on my iPad. Alright. And there we go. So now we good. Alright, let's get rid of this. And let's get that going. Alright, let's do a little here, we'll just pick the livery out the same way we did before. My hangar, change livery, and let's go to Jetstar. This is the flight I was going to do yesterday, but Navigraph decided to update everything right when I was getting ready to take off. I'm not running. Right when I was getting ready to plug everything into the computer system of the airplane, and without that info, I can't plug anything in. So, all right, Jetstar, we Gucci there. All right, let's go. So YSSY, and we're taking off from runway. No, we're not taking off from runway 7. No way. We got to change that up. Well, I guess we could take off from runway 7. Okay, I guess that's fine. Alright, YSSY is, I believe, down here somewhere. There's a lot of airports. And you can go into the search bar here and plug in any airport you want to. Alright, Kingsford, Smith. Yeah, there we got a little daytime action now. Which runway 7? Oh, that's not too bad. Runway 7's 2,500 meters. I don't know if I want to take off from that one. We should be taking off from 34 left. Or 34 right. Let's see if we can take off from 34 left with the same... Fish A... Okay, no, we don't want to do that. What about 34 right? Fish A does not... Alright, I guess we'll use that runway then. That's not what... I guess runway 7's long enough. It's 2,500 meters. I guess we'll find out. I guess let me type that in real quick. How far? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go. What's the worst that can happen? I think that's long enough. Well, let's see what other... Let me plug in the runway I want to use, and maybe we'll just change the whole route. Alright, let's do that. Give me a second here. We doing all kinds of stuff tonight here. It's been like 15 minutes. We haven't even gotten in the plane yet. I was just kidding about streaming a flight tonight. Tonight we're just gonna be playing on the internet. That's what we're just gonna play on SimBrief all night. Is that okay, guys? Alright, save flights. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think that runway is long enough. Alright, edit. Let me plug in a runway this time. That's one thing I didn't look at, which I usually do. Alright, let's plug in 34 right. Yes. And arriving at 32 left. Yes, because that's how it flew the other day. Alright, and now let's generate the flight. Alright, let's go to Navigraph. We should be fine now. Alright, import again. Import from SimBrief. Yep, that's the flight plan we had the other day. I remember looking at it. I remember this departure. Okay. Yep, we're good. Alright, let's select the approach. It's ILS. Y or Z, it doesn't really matter to us. Add to the route. Now we're good there. Now we can get into the airplane and actually do some shit. Alright, let's go there. Let's bring back up OBS. Oh, I didn't. Hey, you guys have just been staring at the screen the whole time. Sorry about that. I didn't know that I forgot to minimize the OBS screen. Alright, we're good now. So let's, we'll just take off from here. Let's do run parking ramp 39. That's for mediums. And then what we're going to do is we're going to back out, and then we're going to cross here, come up here, go over here, catch that right there, and then go all the way up here to a runway that we can use. Alright, so let's click fly. Alright. Alright, welcome to Australia. Oh, DK. Alright, and okay. So here we go, Jetstar. Alright, let's why isn't my screen on? Hello? Oh, there we go, okay. Got a little worried for a second that stuff wasn't working again. I don't know if you guys saw it. I wound up deleting the video because there was no point of keeping it. But I started everything in the airplane last night. Had the APU going. I backed out. I had them push me out so I could start the engines. And when the cart stopped pushing me and I put the emergency brake on, everything went dead inside the airplane. All the screens turned off. And I have I didn't do anything different than I normally do. Like, I have no idea why. I have no idea why that happened. Alright, let's click on battery 1, 2, and 3. Little external power action there. And let's do this here for heading. Let's do a little nav 1. Let's touch this button and turn on nav 2. And let's touch this button and turn on nav 3. Let's throw on some beacon lights. Let's turn you up a little bit. turn you up. Let's turn you up. We're turning on the other lights momentarily. Let's clear this out and plug in our, let's click the ant for ant. So YSSOY. YSSY to YMLT. We're flying to Tasmania. YMLT. Let's click that. Let's click return and align IRS. So now that's aligning our alternate is YMHB. So we can plug that in. YMHB. That's our alternate. Our flight ID on here is JST 745. That's the actual flight number in real life. JST 745 flies from Sydney to Tasmania, and then JST 746 flies from Tasmania to Sydney. It looks like it was a daily route when I was looking it up. Alright, we're at 38,000 feet for our altitude. I would never want to live in Australia just because of the snakes and spiders and bugs and shit, but I think it's a very pretty country, like, to look at. But like, I would be a nervous wreck, like, living there. I think I would be so scared to live there. Big old brown recluse spiders and getting all kinds of poisonous snakes and huge bugs, and no thanks. I'm good. I'd have to live in like some sort of bubble so nothing could touch me. Alright, that's all good. Let's plug in some infos here. So we got, how many people's on board? 176. Let's make sure it's in kilograms. Yep, kilograms. I should change this IRS alignment to short, because it takes like 5 or 6 minutes to, well, I guess it's no big deal. Alright, so we got 176, so we can drag this over to 176. Cargo is 4.4. And the fuel is 10.1. That should be alright. We can always put a little bit more in. Let's put in like 10.8, I guess. So we got 109.4. And our takeoff weight, according to SimBrief, is 115, but that's close enough. Well, we could put, I guess, a little bit more fuel in. Let's put 11 point. Well, actually, what's our planned fuel? Trip and taxi is 96.92 and 10.1. Yeah, we'll leave 11.3 in just to be safe. All right, let's apply this. We can come up here and let's plug in our weight. So it's at 109, 109.9. All right, 109.9. Enter, and we can refresh this. We'll do the runway and the heading and all that once our navigation's aligned and we can actually put in the route. Let's get rid of this yoke for now. We don't need that right now. Bless you. Alright, yeah, we got 2 more minutes left. Alright, we can put the flight director on. So in this particular airplane, as with a lot of the Airbuses, any buttons that have white lettering need to be turned off. So there's no white lettering. Or turned on, you know, I guess, in some cases, but... So let's turn those right now. Alright. Let's finish turning some lights on. So we got the MIPS and the maps. And we got a little bit of flood action, even though we don't really need it. A little bit of MIPS and a little bit of MAPS. This one we did here is for the MCU. MCU. Alright, what's the barometer right now? It's 1015 WINBC. Alright, 1015. Alright, close enough. We got 1 more minutes on there. I guess we could at least arm the emergency lights. All these switches here will turn on once the IRS is lined up. I guess we could plug on the smoking sign and the alright. And nothing else to do back here just yet. We'll turn on the weather, which actually does real weather in this plane. I was flying it a little earlier over top of a storm in America, and it actually had like live weather radar. It was pretty awesome. Alright, so we just waiting right now. Oh, you know what? I could plug in something else actually while we doing this. Let me use the other one for this. So I can go to program actually and plug in the descent forecast right now. While we're waiting, let me plug in the wind speeds. So we got 31,000. 310 is 316 over 51. Over 51. Now streaming this different than I've been. I used to stream right from the Xbox to Twitch and then use OBS to capture Twitch and put it on YouTube. But tonight I'm using a capture card. I'm not going through Twitch. So I like this way better. It's just I don't always have access to the capture card. Alright, 323 and 38. And I like the control. I can control the audio for the mic and the game much easier this way as well. Xbox has a very good system, but it's limited with the options you have. It works well, it's just limited with the options. Alright. Hey, not 356 by 37. We're not building something. What the hell, Greg? Alright, 356, 37. Alright, let me plug in the destination just to fill in all the blanks. We can update this later. So we got 120 by 8. And now we can, after this, we can plug in our flight plan. Start at the APU, push back, take off, and hope that the simulator doesn't crash. Alright, so navigation's all lined up now. Let's go ahead and click flight plan. Click YSSY. And let me get up to our flight plan in SimBrief. This is the wrong flight plan. Alright, I can do it from the main screen here. Alright, so we're taking off from 34 right. We're doing the Marub 6 and Wall is the transition. Let's insert that bad boy in. And then from Wall, we're picking up H20. Alright, H20 to NWA. And then from NWA, we're picking up another airway. No airways. Interesting. Alright. Very interesting. Okay. No big deal. Let's just type in octet. I had this last night with this particular airway. It wasn't cooperating with the waypoints in this particular. Okay, octet. And then I bet you if I do NWA now and do an airway, I bet you. Oh, it's still not showing. That's interesting. Okay. No worries. Let's actually let's get rid of NWA. All right, let's clear NWA. Let's do wall, airway, H20. Nope, still not bringing up octet. Alright, well let's do this here. Let's go octet, airway, H20. Yeah. Oh well, screw it. Let's get rid of that discontinuity. Alright, and then from octet we're doing J22. And I think we take that all the way to LT. Yep. All the way to LT. And let's go down some more. Let's do YMLT. Standard terminal arrival. ILSZ for 32 left. And Izmir is... I think we're just doing a final. Let's see what the chart says. Let's see what the... I guess we can do Izmir transition. Alright, return. Okay, clear. The end of the flight doesn't really matter because we're going to be flying it with with the localizer and all that anyways. I do not like the fact that I can't get this to connect the airway. Here we go. Why wasn't it doing it before? There we go. Now we're connected. Why wouldn't it do that before? Unless it just takes a few minutes for it to like get itself together. All right, let's check it out on the map. Make sure we're straight before we plug in the weights. So far, it looks all right. All right, let's see here. No, no. Oh, Billy. I was clicking too fast. All right, looks all right to me. All right, let's plug in our weights and all that, and then we can start the APU up, and then we can get on out of here. So, all right, let's go back to init. Let's go next page. Our fuel block is 11.3. 11.3. Our zero fuel weight is 98.6, 26.1, so 98.6, 98.6, and the CG is 26.1, that's our center of gravity, 26.1. Alright, that's all programmed, that's all good. Let's go to takeoff. Let's get our V2 speeds, our V speeds. Now we can click on this here, and we get our runway length and our runway heading, 348, and let's click refresh. And let's click calculate. Alright, so 134, 136. 134, 136. The V2 speed will plug into the plug in up top here once all this kicks on. Alright, approach we don't need to do anything with yet. I think that's it for our setup reference. Init's done. Mode we don't need, we already did all that. Okay, so that's all good. Alright, let's get rid of the gateway. Let's close the doors up. Let's fire up the APU. Get a little bit of sip of my nectar. And Diet Mountain Dew tastes so good. So good. Alright. Let's we'll leave the chocks on while we're firing up the APU. So let's see here. Let's put on a little bit of fuel. Let's make sure all the doors are closed. Yep, all the doors are closed. Alright, let's kick on the... Here, we'll put this light on. Because we can. No, not that button, Greg. This button here. Alright, let's wait a few seconds here. And let's click start. And now we just wait for the APU to kick on. It'll start firing up here. Let's do map there. Let's do 30. Let's do constraint. Let's do constraint there. Let's turn up the weather brightness a little bit just in case there's some bad weathers. Since we're doing real life, I think we're doing real life. Hopefully it's real life. Let's see here. Oh, no wonder it's running slow. Why did this change again? Real life world air traffic. No, I don't want real life world air traffic, and I don't want multiplayer on either. Huh, wonder why all that changed. Traffic is AI. Yeah, that's correct there, but why was it... Maybe that's why I was running a little choppy, like I was trying to move the controller and it wasn't, Yeah, alright. Very good. Well, hey, the generator's already on. Sweet. Now we can put on the bleeds. Just one bleed. Let me make sure it's getting enough, Alright, we're good to turn off the outside power now. So let's turn off the outside power. Let's turn on the yaw dampeners, the pitch trim, the avionics. Let's make sure the parking brake is on, which it is. Let's get rid of the chocks and the GPU. And let's request the pushback. To the left. Parking brake is off. Hey, we're moving without the truck. It's magic. I told you, Jetstar's a magical airplane. Look at us backing up without anything touching us. I do need to look at a chart though of where we're at and where we need to go. I think I can just go straight. Oh, here we go. Now the cart finally caught up to us. I think I can go straight like towards that tower there, and I think that's where we need to go. Okay, let's stop this here. Let's put on the park and brake. Skirt. Let's plug in a couple of things before we start the engines. Alright, let's plug in. V2 is 150 plus 15. So this is going to be 165. Decision height, put in -5 for now. Alright, our landing altitude is... approach elevation is 562. So let's put this at like 5.5. Let's put on brake fans, max auto brakes, since we can't put that on yet because the hydraulics aren't working. Okay. Alright, that, and what else do we need right now? What is our flex speed? It is 59. Alright, and let me bring up the runway, the airport chart in Navigraph. Navigraph has a lot, like every chart you'd ever need. Yeah, I think, yeah, position for parking. We're coming out here, we can just go straight. Yeah, it looks like we can just go straight. We should be fine. Alright, worst comes to worst, we'll just have to make a U-turn. I had to do that at this airport before. Alright, let's see here. 10,000 feet. 5,000 is our first intercept, and Maruba is 20,000, and 10,000, and then 38,000. So we'll leave 10,000 in for now. It's fine. And the heading is going to be 348. I believe that's what it said here. Yep, 348. Let's refresh the METAR. So we're at 1014 now. Alright, let's fire up some engines. Let's hope that everything stays on inside the airplane. I have no idea why everything turned off last night when I turned the engines on. That has never happened to me in any airplane ever. Alright, let's see here. Crank. Six, 7, 8. Alright, trim is 0.9 up. .9 up. Let's turn on our transponder. Let's put that for above. Let's turn on the weather system. Let's adjust that. Hey, everything turned off again like last night. Maybe it's this livery and this airport, because it happened here last night too. What the hell, man? It happened again. It happened again. I can't believe it. Where did all my screens go again? It did it again. This is crazy, Microsoft. Wonder if it's a glitch with this airplane and this airport. I'm half tempted just to like move forward and see if it like fixes itself if we get out of this little area here. Let's turn off the weather because we did turn on weather. Okay, so let's put this back to where it was at. And let's put that back to standby and that to where it was at. I cannot believe this broken ass airplane. It did it again. Should I just do like a different airport? I mean, like, I cannot believe it happened again. That is the craziest thing. Actually, let me try something, actually. Let's save this. Let's save this as broken 1. We'll get out and we'll go back in and we'll see if that fixes it. Broken 0.1. Save flight. Alright. Main menu. We are going to do a flight tonight. I don't give a shit. We're going to get something going. Alright. Let's go here. Let's try to load something up. Alright, let's load broken 0.1. And click fly. And let's see what it says. I flew in the A310 today from Atlanta to Orlando. No issues. Here in Sydney last night with this livery, I think it might, like, it's close to the same gate I was using last night. The exact same thing happened. Oh, now everything is off. Alright, fuck this, man. Maybe we'll just do that original flight that I was gonna do. Well, since we're sitting here already, let's fire up the airplane and see if it happens again. I I think these are off. Is that off? Okay, yeah, that's off. Okay. So let's do this. Let's turn on some batteries. Okay, batteries are on. Let's turn on the APU. Come on, APU, fire up. Alright, the APU is finally starting to kick on. I mean, if we gotta reset everything, well, let's reset it. Maybe backing up in this airport mess something up. Let me check one thing real quick, because that little twitch, that little hesitation I had makes me think that this is... Okay, alright, that's still good. Okay. Okay, APU is running. Oh wow, gotta do all this again. Alright, so YSSY. YM... Is it YMLT? Yep. Alright, let's do this all over again. JST 745 38,000. I see there's a few things in the chat. I'm a little busy at the moment to respond, but I certainly wish I wasn't so busy right now. Unfortunately, this broken ass airplane, with it's either this livery or this airport or the pushback or something, causes everything just to die. It doesn't happen. I've never had that happen anywhere else. It's only happened here. It's happened 2 nights in a row. Early this morning, I was trying out a flight, and it worked perfectly fine from Atlanta. No issues at all, like it's supposed to be. Alright, and 284.44. 284. This would be easier if I was using a mouse, but it's all good. 284.44. Alright, flight director again. Shed. Broken beacon. And let's turn on the master that. Okay, let's plug in our info again. Actually, let's plug in our... Well, we'll do the forecast in a little bit here. Hang on, let me. All right, 176 for people. Cargo is 4.4. And fuel is supposed to be 10.1, but we'll just put a little bit more in. Yeah, we'll do 11.1. All right, let's apply that. So we got 109.7 for the weight. All right, 109.7. All right, that's good. Now we can, let's plug in our descent forecast again. All right, 31,000 feet, 310 by 316.51. This info I'm getting right out of the SimBrief OFP. 51. And then 20,000. 323.38. 323.38. And 10,000 feet. Now, I've never flown really this plane out of this airport. The only plane I've flown out of here is the PMDG 737-800 that I have, and that plane was perfectly fine. For some reason, this plane does not like Sydney, Australia. Maybe this plane is scared of the spiders and bugs also. Maybe that's why it just like turns off. All right, what's the 150 and 9 knots? We'll more than likely, if we actually do make this flight tonight, we'll more than likely update this when it gets closer to the landing. What did that say? 150 and 9? Yep. Alright, we can put that in here. And let's go back to init. Wait for the GPS to finish doing its thing. It's almost finished. As soon as that's done, we can go ahead and program in. Now we can bring in through here. We can plug in our username and click on SimBrief, and it'll bring in the flight plan. But I have a little bit of a different flight plan than what SimBrief calculated. Give me give me about a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I've been sitting here for a while and had to go drain the main vein, as they say. Let me put some put some juice in my vape, and then we'll go ahead and get this flight plan put in. Uh-oh, hair bottle is empty. That squishy sound means it's empty. Good thing I have another bottle. Okay, let's alright, we got more juice. I got more juice in my vape now. Got Reese's Rust in Pieces. It's supposed to be a Reese's Pieces type flavor, but it don't taste anything like that. Alright, let's go here and click on we're gonna click on clear and clear it again. Let's go here to flight plan. Actually, let's put up some lights real quick. You got lights, and we got more lights here. Then you got lights, and we got lights. Let's just do all the lights real quick. And we got maps and MIPs. Here's MIPs. And we got maps. There we go, MIPs and maps. Pilot Special, he's got 3 switches. He got maps. He's got MIPs. And he's got some floodlights. Alright. So let's click on YSSY. Click on SEED. We're doing 34 right. We're doing Maroob 6 and wall. Insert. Let's go down to our here, and we're going to do star. And we're doing ILS Z32 left. And I guess we'll do the Izmir transition. That gives us a little bit farther out to make that U-turn. Alright, so click return. I think that's stuck. Let's see if the flight plan, if it kept it. Yeah, it kept it, okay. Alright, so let's go back to flight plan, and now we gotta enter in our, let's see if it takes it. Airway H20. Nope, it's not gonna do octet yet. We gotta type in octet first, I guess. For some reason, we have to type this in for the airway to find it. So octet. I think that's the actual. Hang on, let me pull up the flight plan. Octet. Yep, octet. Okay, now if we click on wall and do airway and do H20, it still doesn't show. It'll show in a few minutes. This is what happened last time too. Alright, so octet, we have airway, J. Oh, I think I put in the wrong octet, and oh, I typed it in wrong. It's OTK. No wonder I can't find it. So OTKED. Alright, now let's do octet, airway, J22 to LT, which is the airport. And now let's see if wall picks up octet now. Still not doing it. It did it earlier. Let's see here. Oh well, if it doesn't do it, it doesn't do it. Let's try one more time. Nope. I don't know why it does it sometimes, and sometimes it won't do it. Okay. Alright, let's get rid of that discontinuity. Maybe that's what I gotta do first, is get rid of that discontinuity. Nope. Oh well. I don't really think there's that many waypoints in between there anyway, so it's fine. Alright, let's check out our flight plan. I'm sure it's fine, but let's check it out anyways. Alright, we're good. I am not happy though that it's not allowing me to put in this airway here. I don't get it. There we go. Now it's doing it. Oh, this broken ass airplane. Alright, we're good there. Let's go back to init and finish plugging in all our stuff. So we got 11.1 for fuel. I am doing this a little bit quicker than I have done in the past because I want to finally get up in the air. Our zero fuel weight is 98.6. And our center of gravity is 26.1. We'll adjust our trim when we get closer to takeoff. 26.1. Alright, that's all done. Let's go to takeoff. Let's get our V2, V1, VR, all that stuff. So we can click on this box here. Then we get the runway length there. It's dry. Let's do the heading. It should be 348. Yep. Let's refresh METAR. Alright, let's click calculate. So we got 134 and 136. Now, when I turn the engines on this time, if everything shuts off screen-wise, I don't think I'm going to do a flight tonight, but I am going to go to an airport in America with a different livery and start the airplane and show you that it works like almost anywhere else. I don't know why why it doesn't really work here. All right, so we'll keep that up here. We'll do that there. All right, everything's lined up now. We can turn on all these switches now that the IRS is lined up. And we got 59 for flex, and V2 is going to be 165. So let's plug in the flex first. Alright, flex 165, 348. We'll leave 10,000 in there for now. There's no reason to set it for 38,000 feet just yet. I mean, I guess we could, but we'll do it as we get closer. Alright, that and that. And the landing altitude is like 560 feet, so we'll plug in like 5.5 there. Okay, Let's fire up some engines and see what happens. Let's turn on all the fuel tanks. Let's do right arm. N2 is almost at 10, so got everything I can cross. I have crossed right now. Fingers, toes, balls, hair, teeth, everything. Alright, so far that's okay. Engine stabilizing. Let's fire up the second engine. N2, when it gets to about 10, we click on the fuel. Alright, so far so good. Oh man, that scared me for a second. I know that's kind of normal for that to do that, but that scared me for a minute. Okay. Well, I think we might be okay. Everything is good. Let's turn on our weather system. Let's turn on our traffic and transponder and above, since we're going to be climbing. Alright, we can clear that. Let's move our flaps down to 15, and this was 9.9 up. So that's close enough there. Alright, no beeps, so we're good. Alright, I guess we can mosey on over to the runway. Alright, let's put on our brake fan. Let's set the brakes to max. And we can put this on continuous. We'll turn off the APU either when we get up to the runway or during the initial part of our climb. Alright, lights are good. All that's good. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here before the plane turns off again. Actually, let me set my camera here. Left bumper and B. There we go. Alright, let's release that. And let's taxi. Controls work. Now I think I need to go straight, like, towards that little tower over there, that little observant. Well, I don't know if that's like where, what are those people called that keep track of the flights? Where like the ATC sits. I don't know if that's like those people there. But I got the chart right here for the airport, and it looks like I need to find B. So let's see what this says here. Alright, B4 and C2. Okay, we're okay so far. Because B and C is what we need to get to where C is... B and C will take us up towards the runway. Okay, C2. That's G. Yep, we're good there. I'm reading the signs on the ground, and then I'm also reading the chart for the runways and the taxiing here at Sydney. Last time I went all the way down this runway and then had to make a big U-turn. I know we should stop and like check for traffic, but you know, it's a simulator, guys. It's not real life. Hey, we're getting ready to crash. Look at this little plane. Ooh, that little plane just went right under us. It looks like something that this plane poops out. That looks cool. Yeah, we're going the right way. Yeah, I'm excited. We might actually get to fly a plane. Yeah, I guess that is the ATC tower, I would think. And what we'll do when we get... Right when we get ready to turn onto the runway, we'll stop for a second, put the rest of our lights on, turn the brake fan off. Click nav, click profile, double check the barometric pressure. One thing I like about this Airbus versus the A320 is that you don't need to move the throttle anywhere. When you do auto throttle, it sets it automatically. And the A320, you got to click, you got to move the throttle down to the climb speed. That's a little tough to do sometimes when you're using a controller. You have to like stare at it. You have to stare at the, you have to take your eyes off the gauges. You have to like stare at the actual throttle to make sure it's clicked into the right spot. Yep, there's our runway up yonder. Tonight's flight simulator is brought to you by this broken-ass A310-300 at Sydney Airport. If you decide to use this airplane with this livery, do not, I repeat, do not choose any pushback option from the tablet in this airplane, or your plane will be broken also. Doing all right. make this little turn right here. Well, that's gotta be pretty wild having a runway like water level right next to water like that. I wonder if like it ever gets flooded, like this particular runway. And I believe with this takeoff, as soon as we get like in the air, we have to start turning like immediately. You gotta start turning to the right. Well, I don't know about immediately, but it's within a few seconds. The toga button is right here, by the way, so we will be using that. Our flight director is already on, as you can see there, and the navigation is correct. When we get closer to our landing, we're going to flip that down to ILS, so it'll bring up the gauges down here to let us know how we are horizontally and vertically. Clear skies. Looks like, well, there's a little bit of cloudiness down there, but I believe this route pretty much just flies along the coast of Australia, so I'm kind of excited to see what the coast looks like. I've done a few of these bush trips in Microsoft Simulator. I've done a few of these. If you're not familiar with a bush trip, it's where you take usually a single prop or a twin prop little plane, and you take off from little airports, and you fly like an hour at a time, and sometimes you have to use the ground to navigate. Sometimes they give you actual navigation to follow, but like they have them for like 40 different places around the world. Austria, the Bavarian Alps, Sweden, California, the Appalachian Valley, like 4 places in Australia, Italy, Spain, I mean just tons of places. And what you do is you just take off from an airport, you fly for half an hour to an hour, you land at another airport, and then you just keep on going until you make like a loop. And it's beautiful checking out some of the scenery. I mean, whatever magic they put into writing this program to get actual like scenery to show up the way they do, it's amazing. But no, I've flown a lot in Australia doing those bush flights, and I mean Australia's got a lot of pretty places in Australia. Just like I said, I would never want to live here though, because man, yeah, I will turn into a little kid when I see a big ass spider like that. Man, I would never go back in that house again. Whatever's in that house, the spider can have. I will start over. Same thing with snakes, man. Ooh. Some snakes are okay, but not like those big old poisonous ones they got down there. Like I don't mind non-venomous snakes. They're okay with me, but not them big old venomous ones that bite you. And half an hour, your skin's falling off, and you're dying. All right, let's stop up here. Like I said, we'll plug in, we'll turn on profile, we'll turn on nav, we'll turn the rest of our lights on, and then we're not going to waste time. Once we're lined up, we're taking off. Alright, let's stop. Okay, let's turn on the rest of our lights. Right bumper. Right bumper. Alright, all that's on. Let's go to nav and profile. Oh yeah, let me double check the Yep, we're still good. Still 10:14. Alright, we're good. We can take off. We got the analog engine gauges, so it's not as important to have the engine gauges up on that display. And like I said, I don't think we need the APU on right now, but I know some of these older planes, it's good to have the APU on when you're taking off, like I know with... Alright, we are lined up. Let's get the yoke out again, so we can see what we're doing. That. Let's click toga. And now to turn on the autopilot, all we gotta do is hit the Y button when we're ready. Alright, positive rate, gear up. Yeah, see, we gotta turn immediately. Look at that. If there was a HUD outside, like an Aerofly, I'd be flying with an outside view right now, but they don't have that. I mean, they have some help, but not with actually like figuring out where to have your plane angled and turned and all that. Okay. Autopilot on. Let's lower that down. Oh yeah, you know what? I never looked at what the transition altitude is. I wonder if it's like 14,000 feet. Let me see here. Alright, we can put some flaps up. Let me see what the transition altitude is here. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet for jets only. Okay. Where's this plane going? Insert that. Alright, let's put on nav again. Alright, Let's turn off the APU. It was trying to capture that intercept point, and that's not good. So what we're going to do again when we get to... We're going to make a manual turn. Alright, did we put our rest of our flaps up? Alright, our flaps are up. Oh, I never did turn the brake fan off. Good thing it's a simulator. Alright. So when we get to Marub, we'll go ahead and do a... well, actually, let's program... Let's do this now. And now, let's fly manually and turn around.
Stop rudder input. Stop rudder input. Stop rudder input. Stop rudder input.
I did stop the rudder input, buddy. Alright, let's start turning around. And we'll do direct to wall. Keep on turning. Let's put you up to 38,000 feet. And wall is 239 on an ADF. All right, 239. According to here, it doesn't actually have the heading, but that's alright. We'll keep on flying manual like this. Well, not manual, but we'll keep our heading. So 240 something. So once we complete this here turn, then we'll go ahead and oh, I gotta turn the lights off, man. I forgot to do all kinds of stuff, man. Jeez, good thing it's not a real plane. Alright, let's continue our turn. And once we get close to the line, then we'll put on nav again. Hey, we shouldn't have to mess with the flight plan anymore. I would have erased a lot of those waypoints if I would have known that. I would have like erased that 10,000 foot section and that interception point. I would have erased that if I knew it was gonna. So what happened was, if you guys, okay, so the green thing here, by the way, is the ADF. So if you didn't kind of notice what happened after we took off and we made that first turn, I activated navigation when we got up to like 2,000 feet. When I activated that, it was trying to get us. It was trying to put us in a circle to go back over the airport and pick up that first interception point since we didn't hit it exactly. Alright, let's do nav and see if we should be okay now. I think. I'll keep an eye on things, but we should be okay. Because we have Wall as the next waypoint. Airport's over there. We're climbing nicely. We're probably going to make a nice little turn here coming up. Wall is, I don't know what the direction is, but it's okay. Alright, let's do progress. 490 to destination. Alright. So this green one here is the ADF that we have programmed in right now. And we're probably going to get ready to make a big old turn here coming up in a second or so. Yeah, there we go. Start making our turn towards Wall, and we're good now. Thankfully, this FMC is pretty easy to use when it's just, you know, one person. Certainly having somebody else to help would have been easier, but it's okay. Alright, we are good. So Wall will be the top of the climb. Let me check out the rest of my charts here. So let's see here. So Launceston, I think that's how you pronounce it, has an ADF also. That's 242. Let's program that in, I guess. Oh, well, we'll just wait for that because we only have to click up twice, so that's easy. Oh, they got the ADF here also. ADF1 and ADF2. So where's the other? Oh, this must be the other ADF right here. No, this is the VOR because it has the DME equipment here. I wonder where the other ADF thing is, unless it just doesn't. Well, you know what? Let's plug in 242 on this one and see what happens. Oh, antenna or ADF. I gotcha. Okay. Transfer. Oh, so this is 1, 2. Okay. So orange is ADF1, green is ADF2. Alright, that makes sense. Alright, we can turn off these. Alright, we're doing good. Alright, well let's plug in the landing information at least while we're not doing much. So we got 109.5 is the frequency, and 313 is course. I don't think these work. Yeah, these don't work because we're not in VOR mode. In order to get these work, you have to be in VOR mode. This ILS, if we chose a landing that was not an ILS landing, these would not be able to be used at this point. But if you want to plug in VOR information, you got to switch this navigation to VOR. And let me do this. Let me save this as broken point 2. For some reason, you have to put a period in when you're saving this shit, so broken point 2. Alright, cancel. Let's see if it has it in there. No, it didn't save it. Okay, let's go and save. Broken point 2. Just in case the sim crashes. Okay, we're good. Looks okay, doesn't look like any storm clouds. Not much we need to do with when we level off. So there's no storms or anything, which is why there's nothing showing in the map here. If there was, it would show up. I mean, we can change the tilt a little bit. I don't think that'll do much since there's no storm clouds around. Alright, let's plug in 242. I think that's what it said, yeah, 242. Never used the ADF in this plane before. Alright, we're making our turn to a waypoint that does not exist. Odd kid. Alright, so we are leveling off. We can turn off the anti-ice now because we're past that point. Since it's negative 29 degrees out right now. And we are 449 miles to our destination. And what I'm going to do in here, so there's, if you guys have seen my videos, you know I like to do fixes. Usually I like to do like a 4-mile fix for landing gear, like a 10-mile fix for like, you know, mid flaps, like 15-degree flaps or whatever. So there's no fix button, no way to really put fixes in any of the screens other than here. You can only put in the waypoint. You can't alter distance, you can't do anything. So I'm going to put in LT, the VOR. LT. And it's 112.6. So I believe it's this one here. Oh, duplicate names. Interesting. Well, maybe I'll put in the air. You know, I'll just put in the air. Let me click on the airport and see. Let me click on it and see what the degrees are here. Okay. Magnetic 14 degrees. No, where's LT? Okay, LT is 41 south, 147 east. Okay, so it's this first one here. And what it does is, you know, it has the distance, but it also has the radial that you're flying against. You know, so right now we're heading, you know, right now we're flying on the 201. We're flying on a course of 201, and the radial more than likely would be 21. Because, you know, radials radiate away from the station. And if we're flying on a course of 201, it means the opposite of that is 180 degrees less than that. Or more than that, depending on, you know, your direction. All right, let's go here. Let's click on live so we can monitor our fuel and our gross weight live. 30.8. I don't know if we need to adjust the init while we're flying. That's, you know, like, I don't know if it does that automatically. Oh, that's zero fuel. All right, so I guess it does that automatically. And then descending, it looks like we go right from 38 down to 32 and then all the way down to... I have a feeling we're going to be flying quite a bit in heading mode tonight, because I have a feeling that this is going to be an issue. Usually if it's not a waypoint, it's going to be an issue. So we're probably going to wind up flying manual, like controlling the speed ourselves, you know, with turning the speed to the right number. And we're probably going to wind up having to use heading mode quite a bit tonight, I would think, which is okay. It's no big deal. That's no problem to do. Gives us more stuff to do. So I don't really know where our top of descent is. I don't believe it shows in this airplane. Now I know it shows an arrow. You know, like I know it shows in here. But like other than that, I don't think it shows like a mileage. You know. Now I mean we can calculate the mileage. You know, it's roughly like 3 times the net difference between cruising altitude and the altitude of the landing, you know, plus maybe 10 or 20 miles for wind, or, you know, so if we have, say, 40 times 3, that's 120. So net miles is 112, so we probably need about 130, 140 miles, I would think, to center tank feeding. So let's do this here. Where's fuel at again? Let's turn on cross feed since the center tank is feeding. There's 1.9, and this will help keep everything even when you have the center tank feeding. Let's put on fuel and check out fuel. Well, you know, let's check out pressure real quick and then we'll go back to fuel. Alright, so cabin, so Inside the cabin, it's 7,500 feet above sea level. That's not bad. Oh, I never knew it showed the vehicle feet per minute here. That is interesting. That is pretty cool. I never knew that. I may have to use that if I'm going to do well, I probably will be doing VS mode at some point tonight. That is very, I all the times I've been in this airplane, I've never really clicked on any of these buttons until tonight, actually. All right, let's leave fuel on so we can, because our engines are okay. It's at cruise. We're good there. We got plenty of mileage left. Yep, we got plenty of mileage left. This would be the point. Typically, I'd be fast forwarding all kinds of stuff in Aerofly, where I'd be already on the main screen, dragging the plane to where I want it, but there's no good way in this simulator to fast forward a flight. I say it on every time I use this simulator and I'm recording, I say the same thing. I've tried it a few times fast forward, and I did it during a climb, and I clicked on cruise. And what it did was, it put me at the cruising altitude, but it put me 5 miles away from the destination. So that's one. The other one was I clicked on descent, and it put me at the approach altitude. However, the mileage was like cruising mileage, so we were like 400 miles away from the airport, but we were at like 3,000 feet. So I don't use it anymore, so that's pretty much why I do these kind of like short 2-hour type flights, 2 hours. So now there's a brand new plane, well, a couple brand new planes, but there's a brand new Airbus that just got launched, it looks like today, in Microsoft, and it's an A330-900. I think it's from Just Flights, which they made the Bay 146 I bought. They did a pretty good job with that, but I'm waiting to see what this plane looks like, because I really don't want to buy it if what I read is true. And it said something like you can control most of the equipment. And last time I looked, this is a simulator, we should be able to control all the equipment, like in this plane, and like the Bay 146 and the ATR and the 737 I have. It shouldn't be where, like, I want to be able to control everything, especially if I'm spending money. Like if I'm spending $35 for a plane, I want to be able to control everything. I don't want it to be like some of these other planes in this game where like you can't control everything. Like a lot of stuff's like inoperable. Tastes delicious. So we flying over Australia right now. I don't know what part of Australia we over right now. Let me look at I wish we could connect this to Navigraph on the Xbox, but you can't. So there's a way, with Navigraph, where you can download some software on your PC if you do this simulator on the PC. And when you download, I forget what it's called from Navigraph, but you can actually link your plane that you're flying in the simulator to Navigraph, and it brings up all the telemetry. It brings up the ground speed, the winds, how long you have till descent, like engine performance. It brings up all this info, but you can't do it on Xbox because you can't download the software from Navigraph. So not that it's that big of a deal, it's just one more thing that would be nice to have, but I guess we can't have nice things, right? We are on the island of misfit flight simulator toys. waiting for Yukon Cornelius to bring us some gold and silver. Gold and silver, silver and gold. I love that part of that Rudolph, that old ass Rudolph movie where Yukon Cornelius flips that ice pick, that pick around and licks the gold and silver off of it. He's like, that to me is funny. I still laugh pretty hard when I see that. Jetstar. What does that say on the side? Let's bring up the other camera. Hello. Where's my stuffs up top here? Well, that's not good. Something funky's going on. Because it's not bringing up the info up here. Well, it's a good thing I don't really need it. I mean, there really is nothing up top. I don't know where that bar is. You know, the bar that normally shows up top here with all the choices. What the hell happened to it? I was going to switch to the camera mode so I could zoom in and like check out what this says here. I'm just curious what it says. I can almost read it. All day, every day, low fares. Okay, all day, every day, low fares. But it bothers me though that I can't bring up that menu though, because like it makes me think the game's going to be crashing soon because it's not working properly. Like I'm telling you, if this bitch crashes again tonight, I'm not redoing a flight tonight. It's a done deal. It's a wrap at that point. We can just pretend the plane landed. But if the simulator does crash, I expect everybody that watches it to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Like that's your admission fee to watching this broken ass plane flying. And actually, that PMDG 737, there is one thing though that bothers me about that plane. And if you see the flight I did the other day, I think it was the flight I did in Japan. Sometimes when you click on buttons, it will just continue to click on it after you're done with it. So, like to give you an example, like you know, on a Boeing, it has the like decision height and barometric pressure knobs up here. So I clicked on the barometric pressure. I clicked on standard because we were descending, and like the transition altitude was like 7,000 feet. So I clicked on it, and it changed it. However, when I unclicked it, the button just kept on clicking over and over and over again, and it really messed up the altitude. Like when I finally was able to fix it, our barometric pressure was supposed to be like 1008, something like that. It was down to like 700 and something. So by the time I fixed it, like if we weren't at like 3,000 feet, we were like 8,000 feet, and like it was bad. Like we almost, I think I had to do a go around to land that flight actually, if I remember correct. I was really high coming in for the landing, so I think I did wind up going around. But yeah, this is, you know, I don't expect things to be perfect. You know, if that's the only thing that goes wrong is that, then I mean it is what it is. But that's a pretty big thing, you know, to have happen. It's not like, you know, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I don't know. It was just, man. I remember the first time it happened to me, it was with the speed brake, and I couldn't put the speed brake down, and like The plane almost, you know, crashed because it was like it was going so slow. The flight I did early this morning before work, when I was coming in for the landing, I was flying this plane, but I was using a Delta livery, and I was making that big U-turn like we're going to be doing, you know, down in Tasmania, and all of a sudden the airplane just pitched straight up in the air, and I have no idea why. I didn't touch anything. You know, my hand was barely on the controller, and all of a sudden it just went straight up in the air. But that took a few minutes to get. I mean, I was able to land the plane and do it, but it took a few minutes to get under control, man. There's some weird things happen with these this Airbus in this game. It is made by Microsoft, I believe, so that might be a big part of it. Oops. Yeah, I don't know where this this bar went to. You know, like with checklist and camera and blah blah blah. We don't really need it, but so we should be, when we get to Atked, that's right on the corner of the coast, one of the coasts here of Australia. I don't know what part of the coast. Well, actually, I can look at this map here. I got it on Navigraph. So, what is that? Wellington, Upper. All right, so Malkuta. Looks like they have an airport there. Okay, so Atked is right where Malkuta Airport is, which is YMCO. So once we get to Malkuta, then we're gonna head on a, I don't know what heading this is, but it looks like we're heading like at like 190 degrees at that point, something in that area. We're gonna get to this little island. It's Flinders. Where Flinders Airport is, it's a little island, and that's like one of the small islands, like right before. So there's there's three little islands right before the island of Tasmania. This is the first one. It's the big one. Then there's two little ones underneath it. So got a while to go. What's up? What do you want? Just speak. Another what? Go ahead. For what? Don't feel bad. There's donuts down there, and then there's the. I got a pie if you want one of those pies. Well, eat that then. It's already in your hands. You know you want it. Bye. Well, I guess those are not storm clouds since nothing's showing up on the weather radar. Let's play with the let's turn the gain up a little bit, and let's oh yeah, I guess we should adjust this also, since we're not climbing anymore. Put that on normal. Yep. Alright, so this is just regular fluffy clouds, I guess. Alright, we got 299 to the destination, so we're going to be descending here probably in the next, I would think, 20 minutes to a half an hour. fuel is looking alright. We should have enough fuel for landing. I would think. Oh yeah, what is the decision height for here is 202. We got 6.95 on board. That should be fine. There's no terrain because we're over water, I guess. Wonder if it shows turbulence. I tried to get that to show earlier, see if it would show turbulence, but it didn't show anything. When I was doing that flight from Atlanta to Orlando. So I've watched all the Saw movies in like a week. I saw the first 3 Saw movies when they were out in the theaters. I just saw Saw X like 2 weeks ago with my daughter. It was an awesome movie. But Amazon has them all for free right now. It's part of the subscription to Amazon. So at night, I've been watching them. Man, them movies are really good. There's a lot of plot holes and MacGuffins and, you know, shit like that. But like overall, like the action's good. Acting not too bad either. I mean, the action's pretty good. The acting's pretty good, but like, you know, the traps are awesome. The blood and gore are awesome. I love when limbs are getting cut off. And It's so awesome. I'm glad it's not real life. But in a movie, it's awesome to watch. Oh man, my plane bouncing a little bit. Oh, 29.93 inches. That's interesting. Why is it saying that? And it says 29.92 here. Very interesting. So you got 163 to Nunpa. We have 2 tanks out of fuel. $255. Nope, still not bringing up that menu. Yeah, I was flying a 737 from Sydney to Melbourne, I think it was, and it was so windy. Uh-oh, some stuttering. I don't like that, man. I get very nervous. I get very nervous with this. Well, let me finish the first thing I was saying first. It was so windy on that flight from Sydney to Melbourne, I guess how you say it, I guess. But it was so windy, like when I was cruising, that it moved the plane so much that it disconnected the autopilot 3 times. Like it was blowing the plane around so much. All right. Anyways, what I was, well, I don't even remember what I was saying now. Oh well. Oh, for many months that I've been, and many hours I've been playing on this simulator, I never worried about it crashing. Up until like this last week. It's crazy. It'll run perfect for a couple hours, and all of a sudden it'll just start crashing. There's nothing you can really do to fix it. I mean, I did erase everything today and re-download everything. So you have the game, which is a tremendous amount of gigabytes, and then I think I have like 90 gigabytes of downloaded data as well, between all the liveries and all the different regions around the world and airplanes and things like that. So I have a 1 terabyte Xbox S, and I want to say like this takes up like 300 and some gigabytes of it, this simulator. I only have a handful of other games on here, and you know, I got like Forza, Asphalt, Legends, Liza P. I think that's it. Oh, and that pressure washing simulator, which I do like a lot, and the car mechanic simulator, which I like a lot. But now this plane will not descend automatically. You need to, what I normally do is I'll plug in the altitude and then I'll click profile and then click it again. It's not like the some of the Boeing aircraft where it'll automatically start descending. Alright, we're kinda coming into home stretch here. I don't know what body of water this is that we fly over. I don't really know much about this region of the world. I mean, it's obviously the Pacific Ocean, but like I don't know if they have another name for it over here in Australia. You know, like this little channel of water here. I'm on the map setting of Navigraph, but it doesn't show that part. It doesn't list out the name of the water. Oh well. But yeah, I don't mind. There's the coast of Australia. There. I don't mind doing nighttime flights in this simulator. I would like it a lot more. No, stop stuttering, bitch. God, you make me nervous. Stop. I don't know why it's stuttering. I have I have 1 terabyte like download speed with my internet at home, and I have a LAN cable connected to the Xbox. Like it's like it should be good. um oh, I was saying I don't mind doing nighttime. Like I should say I don't really like doing nighttime flights in this simulator when the plane's in the air. It's so like you can't see the airplane at all. I know it's nighttime, but it's so dark. It's like, and I get maybe that's how it is in real life. I mean, I've flown in airplanes at nighttime, and I've flown over the Atlantic Ocean at nighttime, and it is true. Like you can't see anything. It's really weird to look out the window of an airplane and not see anything. Like it's like you see nothing, no lights anywhere. That is a really weird feeling. But I wasn't recording a video on that airplane. When I'm recording a video, I don't want it to be to the point where nobody can see anything, including myself. Now, the interiors are really cool at nighttime. That I do like, and I like the airports. And I like flying over the ground. I like seeing all the lights and all that. I just don't like the fact that you really can't see the airplane at all. Even with the strobe lights on and beacon lights, you still really can't see much. And maybe that's how it is in real life. Maybe we'll do a nighttime flight tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming Lies of P quite a bit. I haven't done that game in a handful of days. I've been trying to do a flight at night after work, and I haven't been able to do it because for one reason or another, life getting in the way, Navigraph and SimBrief doing an update, the sim crashing. Alright, let's change the battery. I wonder where Jetstar got their name from. Like, you know what I mean? Like, got American Airlines, you got Lufthansa, British Airways, Jetstar. Kind of like Spirit Air. Like, where did they get some of these names from? I wonder. Like, do they have like a meeting and it's like, marketing team put 5 choices in a hat, and we'll pick it and see what happens. Like picking a name for a band. I think Jetstar is a cool name, and I think there's a band called Jet from Australia, I think. But I don't know. Like, I understand airlines that are named after countries. That kind of makes sense to me. Or named after cities. Or a region, like Scandinavian Airlines, or Aero Cancun, or Aero Mexitalia. We should be starting our descent here pretty soon, I would think. So we got 102 to there, and we got a $1.95 to, so I would think probably in the 40-50 miles we should probably see the little arrow. I would think we would probably start seeing it pretty soon on the screen here, being that this is 60 miles out. I would say any minute now it would probably click on. Alright, we're at 194. Let's match the let's match this. And let's see here. And So there's no stopping at Broadway. You pass go and collect 200. There's no altitude between 38,000 feet and 10,000 feet. We're just going to go straight down. So I said it earlier, I think we're going to need like 130 miles to descend. With it being kind of windy as it is, at 38,000 feet, our landing altitude is 550, so I mean, you could really just say it's 38,000 feet that we need to descend, so that 38 times 3 is 60, 90, 114, and then maybe another 20 miles for wind and incidentals and things like that. So I'm thinking we're probably going to need 130 some miles to descend. Oh yeah, what's our transition altitude actually? And that's another thing that telemetry thing would show. Like, when you can have this simulator connected to Navigraph, it would actually show your top of descent. Most planes show it, and it's not really that hard to calculate, especially when you're on a simulator. But oh, so here's a couple ways we could do this landing. We can fly right over the airport at the opposite heading, like almost like a back course, and then make a big U-turn. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do kind of what it did in real life, which was come in at an angle, fly kind of parallel to the airport, and then fly out on a little bit of an angle until, well, stick with me, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But we're not too far from making this all happen. So 313 and 109.5. 109.5 and 313, yeah, it's good there. 202 is our decision height, and our glide scope capture point is 1,820 feet, and that's going to be at 4 miles out from the airport. So about 4 miles out from the airport, we need to be at about 1,800 feet, and that's where our glide scope will capture. All right, very good. I still don't see an arrow. Very interesting. 170 to our destination. Alright, well. Maybe it's not going to have a top of descent for us. Maybe we'll just have to do it on our own. Well, whatever. We'll start descending at about 140 feet. I mean, about 140 miles we'll start descending. So we'll plug in 10,000 now. Oh yeah, what is our transition height here? Is 11,000 feet is transition height. Now, if the top of descent doesn't show up here, I don't think the profile button will work because it's not going to have a profile. So we may wind up having to plug in the speed ourselves, or just turning the auto throttle. Well, we'll plug in the speed ourselves, and then we'll probably have to do VS mode. And if that's the case, I'm gonna have to plug in. I'm gonna plug in again the where did we see VS mode? I think it was on pressure. I think we did. Is where we saw it. Yeah, because we should be seeing the we should be seeing that arrow by now, I would think. Yeah, it's weird. It's not showing up. Alright, well, about 15 more miles will start our descent. Because we got 55 to Nunpa. This doesn't show distance. Alright, let's see here. $90 and 12 knots. It's not allowing me to put in the destination destination forecast anymore. Oh well. It is what it is. Alright, let's start descending. You know what? We'll leave it. We'll leave it at 260, I guess. That's very strange that it did not show the top of descent in this airplane. It usually, I've never seen it before in this airplane where it did not show it. Oh, that's showing the cabin pressure vertical feet for a minute. It's not showing the... Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. I was expecting it to show the, like, the actual vertical feet per minute that the plane is doing, but that makes sense, I guess. Alright, we're doing okay there. Alright, and if you notice that orange thing here, that's trying to pick up the ADF that we have programmed in. This one here. That's the ADF for the airport, for the LT. Alright, we should probably put on seat belts. Whoa, look at them big old fluffy clouds. Alright, so far so good. I'm sure pretty soon we're going to have to put our the icing protection on. I guess this is not any kind of storm, because it should be showing on our navigation. I mean, it showed it earlier today, like I said a couple of times already, but maybe these aren't storm clouds. Before work this morning, I did a flight from Atlanta to Orlando and flying the same plane, just in a Delta livery instead of this Jetstar one, and it was showing the storm, actual storm on the radar here. It was green and yellow, and it was really cool. I know there's a few planes in this simulator that will actually show storms. I know like the Diamond aircraft ones, the DA-40, the DA-62 do that. I want to say the Cessna Citation, I think it's a Citation, whatever the Cessna plane that Microsoft has that's a jet, not the, yep, TAT in icing range. So let's put on some icing. Alright, and I believe this is the course to LT that we're on now, so let's we're on a course of 188. So we still have a little bit of time before we need to switch over to heading mode and do all that and switch our navigation over. So 85 divided by 3 is like 25. Okay, yeah, so we're doing okay. So we'll get to our altitude probably about 10 miles before, which is fine because that gives us time to slow down when we need to. We can see our ADF is the orange needle right there. Now these VOR and DME equipment, these will come alive when we switch to navigation mode. over to ILS. If you switch it to ILS or VOR mode, then those will come alive. Now, I mean, these kind of look like storm clouds to me. Maybe this region, maybe this plane in this region doesn't show like weather. Maybe, I'm guessing. I don't know. Oh yeah, we gotta switch our. Gotta switch this over to below. Let's slow our descent down just a little bit. Because at this point we're going to get there kind of early. When I say there kind of early, I mean we're going to get to our altitude kind of, I would think now, like 15-20 miles before the airport. Because 20 times 3 is 60 and we're 72 miles away, so yeah, we'll stick with this. Now if this mileage here starts getting close to 3 times this number, closer than it is, then, you know, we'll drop our descent angle a bit more, but we're doing okay right now. Wow. I am really surprised there's no weather showing up on the map. It's the right conditions for an ILS landing, though. Can't see shit. No, I can't pull up the checklist. I was going to see if you need to put the APU on for a landing, but I don't think you do. I mean, I've never had to do it before. I just was curious. I just wanted to look at the checklist, but the menu's not showing up for some reason. Alright, what's the minimum altitude around the airport? Is 5,800 feet, so let's program in 5,800 feet. That's the minimum descent altitude. That's the minimum. The MDA is 5,800 feet within a 25-mile radius of the airport. All right, let's drop our descent angle a little bit. Oh, no. We're good. What am I doing? Alright, let's put this at 16. Let's put this at 250. And we'll see if it slows down on its own. If it doesn't, we'll put a little speed brake on. Alright, looks like it's slowing down on its own. Well, it sure looks like storm clouds to me, but for some reason it's not showing on our map. I'm guessing it has to do with this area. Maybe just this area, it's not supported with this particular plane, maybe. Maybe it only does like Europe, Asia, and America. There's Tasmania, I think. Yeah, I think that's Tasmania. I think we already passed those other islands. I think they're behind us. there's our top of descent marker there. Alright, well we can raise this up then. If that's showing so far early, then let's put this down to say 1,400 feet. Alright, we are out of icing range, so we can turn icing off. Game is starting to skip and stutter a little bit. It's making me nervous. Like my controller is starting to do that little skip and stutter thing. Making me a little nervous. Oh, there's weather there. Let's change the tilt a little bit. Oh yeah, that did a lot. Alright. Alright, so it does show weather. It's just this area is not, I guess, a lot. Okay, so right now at 1,000 feet per minute, we should get to 1,500 feet right around where we should. And then we're going to fly past the airport and fly on a course of 133, which is the opposite of the course for our landing. Alright, let me plug in the correct METAR information. So it looks like we're at 1,000, yep, 1007. Alright, 1007. Just drop this to 240. And that's where we'll stay until we get close to the airport. Alright, then we can put on auto brake. We can put this on continuous relight. And we can... we'll wait till we get closer to the airport for those. Wow, that's a big old storm cloud. How come it's not picking that bitch up? It's just weird with the weather how it's not like picking it up more. Once we get to like the airport area, we'll switch over to heading mode, switch our navigation over to ILS. Wow, that's a big old cloud. How come it's not picking this up? That should be right on the middle of our screen. Our navigation screen there. We getting ready to fly through a Tasmanian storm. Look at that. Bet you didn't think when you woke up this morning you were going to be flying through a storm in Tasmania. So we descended maybe 10 miles early probably, but nothing wrong with being a little safe, especially when we have no idea where the top of descent is according to the aircraft. We're just kind of calculating it in our heads. Okay. That's good. We're 19 miles away. I guess when we get about 5 miles out, that's when we'll switch over to heading mode. Now for minimum height is 5,800 there, and then 3,200. Ismar is only 7.4 miles away, and that's at 3,000 feet. Okay. Alright, I think we're close enough now. Let's put on some landing lights. Throw this one on too. We'll use this to warn the stewardesses and the flight attendants. I guess stewardesses is racist, not racist, gender, whatever it's called. They were called stewardesses when I was growing up, so I still kind of think of them as stewardesses, even though it's, I guess, technically called flight attendants now. Alright, we're about 12 miles out. And let's switch this now to 220. I don't think it has a speed thing in here for the flaps. I've never seen it in this airplane before. I know it shows on the speed gauge here, but I was just curious. Actually, let's put it at, we'll put it at 210. Alright, we're 7 miles out. Let's put on heading mode.
Stop rudder input. Stop rudder
It was an
input.
accident. Damn, bitch.
Stop rudder input. Stop rudder input.
Alright, man. Damn, it was an accident. Jesus Christ. Alright, ILS mode. It says DME is 6.5.9, which makes sense. So once we cross the airport, then we're going to descend down to 3,000 feet. And And we're going to use the flight level control if possible. We should see the airport coming up here pretty soon. That's probably it right there, actually. You can see in the top left corner, there's the course right there, the localizer. There's the airport we're going to be landing at. Alright, so we need to fly on 133. What the hell? I have no gauges. Did you guys just see that? Dude, I have no gauges. Let me look at something real quick. I wonder if there's like... if I have like failures on or anything like that. Is there any kind of failure option? Yeah, it doesn't, it just... Well, damn. Well, it still works. I mean, I guess I can try to land it manually. It must be something in this area, man, that it's just broken. I'll tell you what, let's turn on land. I don't even know where the airport is now. Oh, I can't even control the throttle now. Oh, it's because I still have auto throttle on. Well, you know, I have the ADF gauge. I guess I could follow the ADF gauge to the airport. See if we can land that way. If I land this plane, I may have to change this title. See, I mean, I should probably change it anyways because we're not going to Salt Lake City anymore. But I'm telling you, if I land this airplane, man, I might have to change this here title. to did the unbelievable. What's my speed? I'm still going fast. Let's put down some flaps. Oh, I think I see the runway, actually. I'm pretty high, though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to land. Let's dive bomb a little bit. Oh, that's not the airport. That's a creek. I think that's the airport over there. Yep, there's the runway right there. I'm not usually great with landing, which is why I do a lot of auto landing. Well, I think it's really cool to watch it from the outside. It's partly another reason why I do a lot of auto landing is because I really like watching it from the outside of the airplane. But I'm telling you right now, man, if we land this plane, we're going to go down in history as not the greatest, but definitely not the worst. Need to get down. Need to get down. I'm trying to see the... Yeah, I know. I'm trying to see the ILS, the PAPI lights. I think that's what they're called, the ILS lights, but I can't see that far.
Sync rate. Pull up.
I know, buddy.
Pull
I know. Relax.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Relax. Relax, Johnny. It's okay.
Sync rate.
300.
Sync rate's fine. We got 2 red, 2 white.
Sync rate.
200.
Sync rate.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
I can't believe we landed the plane. I cannot believe we landed. I guess you park on an angle here. Is that how they do it here? Alright, fuck it. We're good. I cannot believe I know this is not where you would normally park a plane, but I don't care. We're taking up the whole airport because of what we just did. We just did the amazing. We just landed an A310 with no gauges. Now, I don't know if it would have landed in real life kind of as hard as we did, but that was freaking awesome. I can't believe all the gauges died. Thank God, thank the Lord, we had this old ass ADF old technology. That's what saved us, because if we didn't have that, I would have had no idea exactly which direction. I mean, I know the airport was behind us, but I would have had no idea like which angle to take it. I would have had to have flown in that general direction and really looked out for it, and that would have been terrible. Alright, so it's been a hell of a stream. We started off in Los Angeles. It was too dark. We went to Australia. Lights kicked off like this. No lights. We figured a way around it. It didn't crash the simulator, which is awesome, but we got to the very end, right when we were getting ready to, as soon as we activated ILS mode, switched over to ILS mode, it crashed. Son of a bitch. But we're good. We made it safe. That's about it for stream tonight, my friends. If you enjoyed this here content, please comment, hit the like, the thumbs up, and subscribe. Tomorrow we gonna be doing another flight in Microsoft. I will be doing another Aerofly video soon. I'm trying to figure out what to do because I've done so many of them. I'm kind of running out of, not running out of ideas, but I want to do something new, so I'm trying to figure it out. And but tomorrow night we're probably gonna be flying the 737, the PMDG 737, because that plane is awesome. Have a great weekend. This is your internet pilot, Greg, signing off. Until we see each other again over the friendly skies of Mother Earth, be good to yourself, be good to everybody else, and certainly be good to me. I appreciate it. See ya.